schemes, I want to highlight how transfers to the states, that is for the year 25-26, will be 25.01 lakh crores. Transfers to the states across all schemes. And I just want to go back to listing out how much after COVID the capital expenditure is increasing. At the same time, including tax devolution, finance commission grants, and funds for centrally sponsored schemes, 50-year interest-free that we give for the states, all put together, the transfer of resources to the states is growing by the year. 2020-21, sir, 13.44 lakh crores, which is an increase from the previous year, that is 2019-20, where it was 13.19 crores. 21-22, it rose to 13.40 lakh crores. It was 4,000 slightly less because of COVID-related issues, although we targeted a higher number. But in 22-23, it was 15.56 lakh crores, which is 2.16 lakh crores more than the previous years. And that is the year when we brought in the 50-year interest-free loans for states. Interest-free 50-year loans. 23-24, 17.98 lakh crores, which is again 2.42 lakhs crore more from the previous year. 24-25, 22.91 lakh crores, 4.93 lakh crores more. And this year, the budget which is before us, 25.01 lakh crores, which is 2.1 lakh crores more than the previous year. So the amounts going to the states have not come down at all. Sir, I will seek your indulgence, sir. I want to highlight the thought and the philosophy behind our government's budget-making processes, and also how in the last 5-6 years we have set clearly some practices which are, I would think, very important from the point of view of fiscal management. So allow me to just go through some of the points. It's been a conscious policy choice because it's part of our governance priorities, its commitment to fiscal discipline. So India's development story actually presents a stark tale of two opposite approach to budget making and also for fiscal prudence. So global financial crisis of 2008, once in a century 2020 COVID pandemic. But what happened after 2008 led us to become a fragile five country. Whereas what is now happening is that you see we continue to remain the fastest growing economy. I want to highlight some of the very critical steps that we have taken in the fiscal prudence approach and also in budget making. So under this government, sir, India transited from the league of fragile five to become one of the top 5 economies of the world. 2021, sir, we had the devastating pandemic. Union budgeting reveals recurrent themes of transparency. Since that year, you will find our themes which are recurring are transparency in the budget making and also credibility of budget making, reforms to catalyze growth, targeted social security, and use of technology for obtaining value for public money. I'll just give 2 examples or sometime even 1 example for each year. 2020-21, sir, we took a giant step of bringing on board the FCI off-budget borrowing of 1.2 lakh crores. Food Corporation of India had continuously maintained off-budget borrowings. Here we took a major step of bringing all the off-budget borrowings of FCI, which totaled to 1.2 lakh crores onto the budget. So that enabled better public understanding and discourse on government debt and also brought in a sense of credibility to the budget documentation itself. That year, another step, sir, we have also partnered with the states to deepen the multiplier effect on capital spending by providing them with the 50-year interest-free loan. From an allocation of 12,000 crore in 2021, it has now in the current budget reached 1.50 lakh crores. So it is not just us believing in multiplier effect by spending on capital asset building, but we have partnered with the states, and states are really actually speedily coming up with a lot of proposals, which is very, very good, and we are able to give them that kind of money to support their proposals. 21-22, sir, the year after that, again 2 steps which I want to highlight. Mahua, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, off-budget borrowing was also taken on board. We brought on record the off-budget borrowing of urban housing of 33,000 crores on the books of government by prepaying it. By prepaying it, sir. So we bought it on books and we prepaid it, and that's a major initiative that we've taken to make sure the budget's transparency and nothing outside of the budget will be done. That was the second major step. The first year it was FCI, the second year it is Mahua's. That year, again, just-in-time release and transparency in flow of funds to the states, the single nodal agency model was introduced, so taxpayer money goes to the states just in time for them to use the money, and there is no difficulty in that kind of a quick disbursal of resources. That's the second major step for 21-22. 22-23, sir, debt consolidation of agencies for better fiscal planning on borrowings. Professor was very worried about the borrowing, the debt and everything else. This is one of the points which I want Professor to consider as to why consistently between 2021 we are taking measures to reduce debt, at the same time make public money go for productive asset building activities. We commenced financing of capital outlay of railways and highways from the union budget that time, 22-23. This allowed for debt consolidation, particularly railways debt consolidation began happening from that year of these agencies and helped lower cost of borrowing. So as borrowing by government is cheaper than borrowing by agencies, so efficient use of money, there also we have shown that this kind of a step can actually better utilize taxpayers' money. 23-24, sir, one big step, recognizing the taxpayer by easing tax rates. The new tax regime was made the default tax regime, sir, with new slab structure, with reduced tax rates, and also rebate limit was raised until 7.27 lakhs rupees monthly earning, annual earning, with marginal relief also given, which until 7.27 lakhs, where no tax was payable at all. This year, of course, it has gone to 12 lakhs. So the fifth point I want to say is 2024-25, sir, we empowered the ministries with a proposal which was suggested by the PAC, which was very actively looked into by the Public Accounts Committee. And then we consulted the CAG, and then we brought in a revision of new service and new instruments of service limits. This is the 4th time since independence. A major step of this kind has been brought in with substantially enhanced financial delegation to improve operational efficiency in ministries. Otherwise, for small amounts, they had to keep coming for, permission seeking and so on. That has been cleared. Ministries are more empowered now, and therefore, decisions and dispersal of money happens quickly. This year, proactive disclosures, realistic estimation, and ensuring greater predictability are the steps that we have taken. I draw the attention of honorable members to the statement in 4AA, the expenditure profile. Many members would have seen it. I still draw their attention to this particular thing, which outlines the It outlines the SNA balances with states in select schemes. It's an important thing I want to draw the attention of honorable members. This brings to the fore, sir, for the implementation challenges of states, the need for action to remedy at the state level. What I want to highlight here is not only the center, but also the states will have to look at debt consolidation and also rationalizing their debt balances, and therefore we have outlined a debt consolidation pathway for the union government till March 2031, and this would give some kind of guidance to the markets with greater predictability also. So that is an important step I want to highlight, sir, that in the last 5 years you see certain underlining currents in the budget preparation, contents of the budget also being transparent, and therefore speaks strongly for the budget being a very reliable document. It reinforces the sanctity and also the credibility of the budget process itself. So I thought it's important to draw the attention of the honorable members. So now I move to issues which have been raised by honorable members. I broadly grouped them, and therefore instead of going by member, issues raised by 3 or 4 members have been grouped together, and I speak in response to their issues. Sir, there was this concern on rising unemployment, especially among youth. Several members, I've got a list of about 11 of them who've spoken on it. I want to highlight the fact that according to the 23-24 annual periodic labor force survey, labor force participation rate has increased from 49.8% in 2017-18 to 60% in 23-24, reflecting a rise of about 10.3 percentage points. Worker population ratio, sir, has increased from 46.8% in 2017 to 17-18 to 58.2% in 23-24, reflecting a rise of 11.4 percentage points. Unemployment rate has declined from 6% 2017-18 to 3.2% in 23-24. So the Rozgar Mela, which Honorable Prime Minister hands over appointment letters, over 9.25 lakh appointment letters have been issued for central government jobs in 14 editions, which have been held till date from October 22. So the concerns about high inflation, especially food inflation. Inflation management, sir, actually receives the highest priority of this government. Overall retail inflation is within the notified tolerance band of 2.6%, 2 to 6%, sir. And there are very many parameters which we keep monitoring so that affordable rates, food materials are distributed to people. I've said this before, I'll repeat some of them again. I just want to highlight the fact that food inflation, which was affected because of adverse weather conditions or supply chain disruptions, have all been attended to. We are still continuing to do it. The water levels in reservoirs are also being monitored. It has improved so that water adequacy for irrigation for rabi crop production is ensured. As of January 23rd, the reservoir level was 66.1% of the current live storage capacity. As per RBI, sir, the latest meeting of the MPC that they held on 7th February, CPI inflation for 25-26 is projected lower at 4.2%. Just one or two highlights here, sir. It's important for us to understand that double-digit headline inflation over 10% seen during the UPA regime is not the case now. It is a thing of past. I want that to be clear. NDA 99-2004 food inflation was only 2.2%. UPA 1 2004 to 2009 food prices soared to 6.5%, creating pressure on household budgets. UPA 2 2009 to 14 food inflation reached a staggering 11%, causing severe hardship for the public. NDA 2014 to 2024 food inflation was brought down to 5.3%, indicating a robust focus on supply chain improvements and agricultural reforms. So fuel inflation under UPA 2 was 8.9% compared to NDA 2014 to 24, which is at 4.4%, highlighting better management of global price volatility under NDA. Sir, I'm coming to that, sir. LPG cylinders. Sir, LPG cylinders, sir. Before April 2014, nearly 45% of Indian households did not have access to clean cooking fuels. In contrast, LPG coverage under NDA has reached near saturation. Total domestic active LPG customers have more than doubled from 14.52 crores in April 2014 to 32.89 crores as of December 2024. After a targeted subsidy of 300 rupees a cylinder,